Hey, what's up, Global Village? I want to make a quick video on the impending visit of Candace Owens to New Zealand. So apparently she was initially denied a visa, but upon legal challenge, they decided to reverse that decision. So she will in fact be jetting her way over to our fair shores and engaging on a speaking tour. So the question is, was that the right decision? And to put it bluntly, I believe it was. So I want to present here the reasons why I think that. So straight off the bat, I want to point out that Candace Owens is pretty much diametrically opposed to everything I personally believe in. So you might be wondering, why then do I think she should be allowed to come to New Zealand and talk her bigoted racist nonsense? And basically, the reason is I do genuinely believe in freedom of speech. I don't think you get to pick and choose what is allowed to be said based purely on what you believe to be good rhetoric as versus what you believe to be bad or potentially even harmful rhetoric. Now, I do believe freedom of speech is not a simplistic Boolean expression. It is not a question of, yes, I believe in freedom of speech, and no, I don't believe in freedom of speech. It's not that simple. Freedom of speech exists on a spectrum, and we need to find exactly where that balance lies, where it steps over a point where it becomes essentially illegal based on the laws of the land, which would be, for example, a direct incitement to violence or an overt attack on a specific minority group, again, perhaps inciting violence or prejudice against that particular minority group. So there's a lot of nuance there. But with that said, the basic ideology remains intact. You either do believe in the idea of freedom of speech or you don't. So what are the dangers of not believing in freedom of speech? Well, I would point to, as an example, what is happening in Gaza right now. So the vast majority of the Western world, at least in terms of its political elites, is very much aligned with Israel's interests. And we can see that very clearly in the mainstream media within the Western sphere, which seems to go to great care to avoid pointing out the absolute plethora of war crimes that Israel has committed in Gaza as it engages in its right to defend itself. Because indeed, Israel absolutely does have a right to defend itself, but it's become almost farcical as to what type of activities Israel has engaged in under that particular rhetorical banner. But this video isn't about that. But the point is, I am still completely free to make my own videos, talk to people. I could host towns, town councils and speak to people about why I think Israel is committing war crimes and why the way in which they're prosecuting their so-called war against Hamas has stepped over the boundary in an absolute myriad of different ways. So I could do that, and I believe I should be free to do that. But what if I was in a society where the government decided it's not helpful to their particular position and their ambitions, either sort of economic or political, for me to have the right to have that sort of speech, so they simply shut me down? Do you want to live in that kind of society? I think the moment that you find yourself ideologically opposed to a particular mainstream position, your opinion on that will be unambiguously, no, you don't want that to happen to you. So we really can't have it both ways. If you want to protect the basic idea of freedom of speech, then you need to suffer the inconvenience of allowing people who don't have an opinion you align with to speak about their ideas and to share them in that marketplace. So I think when Candace Owens comes here, I think if New Zealand is a healthy society, then I think she will quickly discover that she will receive a lot of pushback, and ultimately I think she will be exposed to look perhaps even worse than she does now, because probably for a lot of New Zealanders, a lot of people probably don't even know who she is. So she will come here and she will share a lot of ideas which I don't think will resonate with the vast majority of New Zealanders. So we'll quickly learn about what she's about, and we'll quickly decide this is not the type of person and the type of ideas that are going to be healthy for New Zealand society as a whole. Indeed, I suspect she will receive a large amount of protest. And indeed, that was the case when Posey Parker came to New Zealand. She received a tremendous amount of public protest, and she left New Zealand with her tail firmly tucked between her legs. I wouldn't be at all surprised if that is also what happens to Candace Owens. So I say, bring it on. Let her come here, let her spout her nonsense, and let her receive a robust amount of pushback in response to what she has to say. I'll close this out by saying that I am aware that you can have people who have a certain cult of personality who can prey on more vulnerable people and disenfranchised people and bring them into their fold, and that this will essentially lead those people down an unhealthy path. I acknowledge that. It is something that absolutely can happen. But again, you have to counterbalance that against the problems of simply blocking free speech as a whole. And I think the price is just too big to pay. And it is a very complex subject as well. I think the amount of vulnerable people that actually these type of people might actually be able to bring into the fold is directly proportional to the health of the society. So if you have a healthy society, these people are always going to be in the minority because your people are educated socially and in the sciences and all of those kind of things. But anyway, that's all I pretty much had to say on the matter, so Bendy out.